Where do I start? There's been many dark moments because it has been a long journey and experience, and I've seen the very best of people, and I've also seen the very worst of people as well.
These videos could put you on the way to making millions of dollars.
Kathy Jane Pearce was a success story. She lived in a mansion, drove a convertible BMW and socialised with the rich and famous.
What my philosophy is to buy real estate trash and turn it into cash.
She wrote a book and graced the pages of BRW's Young Rich list with a fortune of $19 million.
But I think they've made a mistake and need to get their calculator out.
What, a bit more?
It's more.
In 2005, you were reportedly worth $19 million. What are you worth today?
I don't have any money.
Nothing.
Nothing.
So what happened? How did it go so wrong?
I guess I asked for it.
Were you too cocky?
Yeah, definitely.
Too big for your boots?
Yeah, probably.
3 years ago, Kathy was living in this multi-million-dollar mansion in Adelaide. But all of a sudden, she was selling up and moving to Queensland. She left behind her hometown and a bunch of investors.
I will be back. It's just an extended holiday. Business as usual.
Okay, so investors don't have to worry?
No, investors do not have to worry.
They don't.
You had these massive problems brewing in Adelaide. You hopped in the car and drove to Queensland.
That's not correct.
Or you jumped on a plane and went to Queensland.
Is this a setup?
Is what a setup?
These questions.
You said at the start of this interview...
I'm happy to talk. I'm happy to
Kathy,
talk. But these are ambush questions.
You said at the start of this interview...
They're loaded questions. Come on,
that you were
Ben.
happy to answer any questions.
These are loaded questions.
Is that what you said?
I said I'm happy to talk about anything, but this is a small piece of the big picture.
I asked, when you left, jumped on that plane to Queensland...
Okay, now I've said 4 times.
Were you not
no, I
walking
did not
away?
walk away. Definitely not.
Well, Kathy didn't walk away. She ran away. She didn't walk. She hightailed it out of town.
Author Neil Genman has been researching Kathy Jane Pearce for an upcoming book.
Here is a woman who told people, hey, invest your money with me and I'll turn that money into mega amounts. And then she took the money and turned it into nothing.
Did you front those shareholders earlier this year to discuss what had happened?
Yes, I did. Yep.
In person?
No, not in person.
Neil Barge invested $50,000 in one of Kathy Jane Pearce's syndicates that went belly up.
It would be nice if she was just honest about what had happened and told us what was going on, even now.
Do you regret what's happened to these people?
Of course.
What would you say to them?
I would say that there's...
Can I suggest sorry?
Of course, sorry. Of course. You know, sorry for them, sorry for me, sorry for everyone that got involved, but I said...
But problems with investors are just the tip of the iceberg.
You owed $39,000 to an Adelaide law firm.
Yes.
Why didn't you pay them?
They didn't deserve it. You want me to be honest? They didn't deserve it.
There is also a case involving sexual harassment. Can you explain to me?
It's just most inappropriate, and it will be going to court.
Kathy Jane says all of her problems can be traced back to the botched sale of her Adelaide mansion.
We had nothing to fall back on because there was no deposit collected. The real estate agent accepted the $250,000 bank guarantee from the Bank of Dubai.
It's this property deal that then led to you being charged with stalking. Did you send 250 text messages?
No.
Did you put an axe through a window?
No.
Did you threaten to hire Mick Gatto, the standover man?
No, I don't know Mick Gatto at all.
But ACA has learned that Kathy Jane isn't the only one who's been dudded on a deposit.
This is the email that we received. My 75-year-old unsuspecting mother sold her waterfront home in February 2008 on the Gold Coast to Kathy Pearce. Balance of the deposit was never paid.
I haven't got the money to pay the balance of the deposit.
This sounds remarkably, Kathy, like the situation that you yourself were a victim of.
Yeah.
And so now you're doing it to someone else.
I don't want to be doing it to someone else.
This is the property at the centre of the dispute, And until it's settled, Kathy is renting it for $760 a week.
$760 a week rent? Well, there you go. You see, they're hooked on the grandiose lifestyle. She still thinks in her head she's a property queen.
Would I be late on my rent if I had money? I mean, you know, I'm working as a dental nurse at the moment, earning $19 an hour.
Sexual harassment allegations, stalking charges, collapsed businesses, money owed to people. How come you attract so much trouble?
Is it I attract trouble, or is it trouble attracts me?
Kathy Jane Pearce and husband Miles insist they're not hiding from their responsibilities. Kathy is currently planning her comeback.
It is what it is. You can't go back in a little time machine and change it. I'm down, but I'm not out. You know, as much as it's hurt and as much as it's been painful, I'm still glad I had to go.
And Kathy Jane Pearce has been given notice to leave that Gold Coast rental property, but she's refused to vacate. A court application will now be filed for its possession.